It's just loading. There we are. Okay. We're good. Do you want to monitor the comments today?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll still keep it open. Oop, I got to turn my sounds off for that.
Yeah, Lucy, I was going to email you. I apologize. Can you loop Alex?
We've got 2 people, which once I exit, it'll probably just be us. So we'll just chat for a little bit. Hey, is that Ellie or Reagan?
That would be Reagan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that Christina wearing makeup? Yes, it is. I decided I wanted to try something different today. I've also been up for a really long time this morning, so I was like, I got time. So thank you, Kendra, for the compliment. All right, I'm going to exit out of YouTube, but I'll still keep this open, obviously.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hi, Riggs.
Hey, baby. My niece is 1 month old now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
She has been really cranky and fussy because she's got a lot of gas. But it's okay. She'll get better. I was talking to my sister on video chat yesterday, so, but only very briefly because the baby wouldn't stop crying. How's this one doing?
Good. Say hi, Reagan. Hi.
You should tell the audience about what you did this morning.
Oh, I got to work on a brake line on my truck. As they say, in rust we trust.
But you fixed it, so that's great.
Yeah, the problem with fixing brake lines is that once you do one, you seem to end up doing them all.
Gotcha.
So this one was especially difficult to get to. So I was not impressed that I had to do it, but glad that I was able to get it done. And at one point, I think I got a earful of like rust and salt and crud from underneath the truck.
Gross. Also, you're a little quiet.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
I think it's because I'm twisted up in the...
Okay.
There, that might be better.
Yes.
Is it?
Oh yeah, no, it's way better.
Good deal.
Yeah. I was just showing Andy before this that I finished my hat. I've got a bad hair day going on, so I'm gonna wear my hat. Plus, my apartment's a little chilly, and I'm trying to keep the electric bill low. So I'm like, I'll wear a sweater. It's all good. What do we have besides Kendra today?
We have Lisa. Good morning, Lisa.
Morning. Let's see who else. For people who are joining us, we can remind them that if they want to take notes along our virtual tour today, they can either, access the links we posted yesterday on Facebook, or they can, just jot notes as we go along. So, see if this is a college that seems of interest to you. And if so, then, eventually check it out in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think.
Oh wait, sorry. You go first.
My students know this. Most students know this. You guys probably know it. Oneonta is one of my favorite SUNY schools, I think. I feel, I don't know, it's just so New York. I love it. It's a great little town. Um, it's a, I think it's a beautiful campus, and they do a really good job with merit scholarships for financial aid. Um, I think they're one of the higher tiers for their merit scholarship, which is really good for um, high achieving students, especially.
Oh, definitely. And they have so many programs, like more than you would normally see at like a size school of theirs for like a liberal arts.
Yeah.
I was really impressed when I saw it last year. I saw like I could understand why like one of my close friends in high school went there because I was
Yep.
like, yeah, this would have been a great fit for her, and it was.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We just had an Oakfield student graduate from Oneonta this year, Sierra
Oh,
Baker. So congrats to her. I actually think that she was able to graduate with a bachelor's degree in 3 years,
okay. She probably
thereabouts.
one of those advanced classes in high school, maybe.
She was, yep. She was a very good student,
Hmm.
very good grades. She got some great merit scholarships, and I think she transferred in quite a few credits.
Awesome. Should we wait any longer for to start our tour or get going? What do you think?
Um, we can start. Maybe wait a minute. I was actually just
Okay.
going to bring up the scholarships that I was just talking about.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen and to show those scholarships?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my one-on-one today with Tim.
Okay.
So this is the Oneonta webpage under cost and aid, and then scholarships. So there's freshman merit scholarships. Merit scholarship, to remind you, means that um, you do nothing to apply for them other than have good grades and good SAT and ACT test scores. Um, and so you see here, there's 3 different merit scholarships that Oneonta offers. The top one is a $5,500 per year free scholarship. You must have a 95 plus GPA in high school and a 1300 SAT or a 28 ACT score.
Mhm. Which is definitely it's tough to do, but it's possible.
That's tough to do, but yeah, it's not
Yeah.
unreasonable.
I feel like a lot of our students end up getting the achievement or dean's award because
Yep.
they do well in school. Maybe they, their SAT was a little bit lower than that or their ACT, but still it's nice because it's not just like for 1 year, they use it for all 4 years that you're there.
Yep, as long as you maintain the GPA required, it renews automatically every single year.
Mhm.
So, it's pretty awesome.
Fun random fact about the school is I don't know if it's a fact, it's just a coincidence. One of my classmates in my online program is an advisor here.
At Oneonta?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So we talk about advising things via email.
Very nice.
Which is neat. Okay.
So Christina, you are back to host. If you want to lead us on this awesome tour, feel free anytime.
We're getting started. The view with speakers and everything.
That is beautiful.
Okay. So when because we went to visit this school last spring break, this is where we started out, and coincidentally, that's where we're starting today on our virtual tour.
Mm-hmm.
So SUNY Oneonta is what, like a medium-sized school?
Yeah.
probably around like 5,000 to 6,000 students in total for like undergrad. It's located, where would you say it's located?
Central New York.
Central New York. It's literally right across the way from Hartwood College, which is a small private college. And they, even though like they are right across the street from each other and one's private and one's public, they both have interactions with each other, which we'll talk about later. But here's the Welcome Center, and this is a place for prospective students and their families. So if you want to learn about Oneonta, you come to the Welcome Center and you hear the spiel from the people. So I'm just moving my face around. Okay. So if you listen to a presentation in the Welcome Center, you'd be sitting in one of these rooms. You'd probably have, you know, a person from like financial aid or Res Life, sort of like when we go on tours, we end up hearing from people in an information session first or after our tour. So this is like the place where you would do that. There's not really too much to see right here, except that it's like a beautiful view and it shows the parking lot right there. But then also in this area is the Union, which we'll see later on our virtual tour. Recycling, trash, keep the campus clean. Okay, we're gonna walk down these stairs through this pillar, which has special meaning, which we'll get into in a little bit. And I'm just showing you like how you'd like walk around on the campus. Okay, so Fitzel Hall houses the School of Education as well as mathematics, computer science, statistics, Africana and Latino studies. So you probably have never studied that in school, is my guess, is Africana or Latino studies. But if you have an interest in a particular culture, some people actually major in that. So that's an interesting thing. Here's the study area in this building. So as you see, this is like pretty new looking. Got that nice brick. Whiteboards, different classrooms, comfy studying areas, computers. And then if you were taking a class in this particular building, this is what your class would look like. So you have desks that are still individual, but they're not the ones that pull over your lap. You have the choice of like what you can do with it, which actually is really good. So like if you have, say you like are a wheelchair user, you can just wheel right up to that desk as opposed to getting stuck with a different type of desk. More views of it. Beautiful building. Nice walkway. That's an interesting study area. I like that little S shape. More views. Oh, this cafe houses like local food. So gotta eat when you're studying. That's how you stay awake. Some pretty lights. There's more views of the cafe. We're not going to look at the video, but if you wanted to look at it later, it just was showing them the grand opening. And they had people like cut the ribbons and they showed some more of the features inside that. I watched it earlier. Okay. Here's the academic quad, which we got to look at lots of nice views of this. So the quad, you see some person is sitting there texting, but oftentimes in like nice weather, you'll see people sitting out here studying, hanging out with each other, just enjoying the atmosphere. And then you have like all these really pretty buildings around you. Here's another view of the quad, a different part of it. you'll often find that a lot of colleges that have this type of like residential campus will have a quad for students to interact with outside. So here before, I was going to say we were talking about the pillars. So all these students in red are first year or transfer Oneonta students. And before they become, well, they're official students once they pay, but before they are like in a traditional sense, students there, they walk through those pillars for the first time and they have like a celebration with a DJ and food, and they do this before the start of classes. And then there's like a picnic. So that's one of their traditions. More views of the quad. Can jam, classic now. Handstands. So when I said that like people hang out on the grass and like throw frisbees and stuff, I wasn't lying, I promise. Even some professors will host their classes outside, not on a regular basis, but you can find that at a lot of schools where if the weather's nice and a professor's feeling like they don't want to be in the classroom, if their class can go outside for a discussion, they might do that. There's people playing music, and that's just a nice aerial view from above of that part of the campus. What was this one? Oh, this had like all of the traditions. So it showed the first years going through the pillars. It had the seniors coming back up through the pillars during their graduation. And it also showed other traditions like what I mentioned earlier with Hartwick and Oneonta, is that they have an annual music festival that they co-host together in the town. So they talked about that annual music festival. So it's a nice quick video if you're interested in seeing that later. Next, we're going to the library. James M. Milne Library. So this has been updated recently, and this houses all of their support services. So if you have like, if you need like accessibility services, like we talked in our disability video, this was one of the places where you could access them, as well as they'll have like the writing tutors and other tutors and the other things that you would normally see in a library. So as you can see, this is a very like modern look to it. Bright colors, the furniture's got that like minimalist look, in my opinion, very streamlined. Some looks comfy, some of it doesn't. I like the yellow though. There's a garden outside of the library, which it looks fine. And then the technology center within the library. I think when I watched the video or I read about it, it was like there's over 100 computers in the center that you can use at any time. So print your stuff out here, use the computer if you don't have a laptop, or if you don't want to use your laptop. Just show you a few more photos of it. Just more views. I never sat between the stacks like that. I like to sit in chairs. There's a cafe in here as well. And this one is specifically a tea cafe where it's like iced tea and hot tea, and it's like all organic, fancy, whatever. It was really good though. They gave out samples when we went through last year. I remember that because we were all really hot and the students were like, free samples, as well as me. So as you can see, some people are studying in an alcove right here. And you can actually plug in your electronics into some of these seats. So that's pretty interesting. Just a nice view of the library. More studying areas, and then another view of the technology center. Okay. Walking through campus, hypothetically. Or not hypothetically, figuratively, not literally. Oops, I went the wrong way. Sorry about that. I went the wrong way earlier too. I'll just go to the marketplace. So the marketplace is basically like a convenience area or a convenience store that's like built onto the campus. So as you can see, you can grab like snacky type foods here, or they've got other ones that are like grab and go. So some pre-made sandwiches, yogurts, things like that, even some frozen food, which is pretty useful if you can't make it into town and go to a grocery store. So that's just a view of the market. More views of it. Get some coffee. That shows the grab and go section a little bit better. So remember how I said, like, if you want to bake cookies or a cake for your roommate or something, you need eggs. If you don't have eggs, get like a can of pop from the vending machine. That's because I didn't have eggs readily available. So like you could buy a carton here, which is nice. Snacks. Oh, you can make milkshakes. That's pretty neat. And this is what's really interesting. So this isn't housed within that little marketplace. It's actually a freestanding, essentially it's like a freestanding vending machine that's massive. So you go up to this robotic store that's 24/7. So you can access it at like 2 a.m. if you need to. If you're like coming home from the library and you really need to like finish up, you know, studying at home and you need some caffeine, you can go to this machine and get that. Or maybe you are like having a cold and you need NyQuil. There's like NyQuil and DayQuil in the corner. So you just like pay at that machine and it'll vend out to you. So it's more than just snacks, but it's other like useful things that you would need at all hours. So you can see like some of the offerings that they would get. Yeah, I remember seeing that and I was like, what? Every campus should have one. What do you think, Andy? I know you've been muted. I've been talking a lot.
That's all right. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, Cortland, I do remember, has one as well.
Oh yeah.
Pretty incredible what they can put in those machines.
Well, it's like they also have some perishable foods too. So,
Yep.
But I like that they have, you know, some medicine or other things you might need at any time of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
I apologize for having to stay on mute. My wife is a very loud talker and she's also on a meeting.
It's okay. Next, well, actually, I want to go to the campus dining first. So there's 3 full service dining halls that are on this campus. And then there's also lots of like cafes and grab and goes like we talked about. But there's also some really unique things at this school too, which I'll go into. I might actually play the video because it's short and I think it was useful. So that's just the cafe for one of them. Brain food bagels. There's your classic, like where everyone sits together in the dining hall with the all you care to eat area somewhere behind these walls and pillars. The My Kitchen part is what's really unique about this school in particular, which I'll let the video explain that just because I think they'll do a better job. This is another dining hall. As you can see, there's like the salad bar. There's places you can get your diner style food, you know, stir fries, etc. So there's that. Like I said, lots of dining halls. They really want to show off their food. We didn't eat there last year, so I can't say what the food's like. Nothing too crazy here. They just have a lot of photos of people looking happy and eating. So, and then with the My Kitchen with this. So I'll play the video. Hopefully the sound will be good. It's only a So.
Christine, I think the volume is actually, the audio is not very, it's not coming through on the meeting.
Oh, nuts. All right. So I'll turn the audio off and then,
There's
okay.
subtitles.
Read the subtitles if they're correct. Some of them weren't correct. I was listening and I was like, My kitchen area is a specific part of one of the dining halls where you can actually like rent it out with your team or club if you want to like host and cook together, or they have chefs that come in and they make like specialized meals that are part of their offerings that you can get.
I mean, I can tell you that we're already at
Like some non-credit courses. So if you want to learn how to make sushi, for instance, you can like class with this chef and he will teach you how to make sushi. So that's pretty neat. And what I liked about this is that like you can send in like your home family recipes and then he'll make them for about like 500 people. So say there's like a special like family meal or a dish that like you're missing from home, you can have like your parents send it in and then they could make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Really helps beat the homesickness, right? Okay. Next is the residence halls, which honestly, I did not like the picture for this one because the only one we could see in a panoramic view was the apartment style, which is not a first year offering. So you could see that when you live in an apartment that's on campus, you get like full appliances and you have like your own room and then you share that space with other people who have their own room. But that's not what you're going to get your first year when you're there. And the other photos didn't really show like the dorm rooms that well.
All day yesterday, like she was in the office.
So, as you can see, like right here, this is like what you would see more in a first year room if you're like dorming corridor style, where you have you have like 2 beds in the one room. So you have the 2 beds, you've got people with their posters. Hey, Foo Fighters, they're a good band. I like them. And then they also did have like quad style too, which I guess this is a quad one. So you'd have like a shared bathroom that you'd share with other people within your suite. More of the quad room, you've got like a sort of common area. Each place has their pros and cons. If you want to watch their video later, it explains like some of the great things about like living on campus and why students feel like they're really connected to campus when they live on a campus, which I definitely recommend that at least for 1 year or 2, if you can, to like live directly on the campus so you can start getting connected to the community and like get involved in groups and activities. It really helps make a difference in your college experience. And when you're feeling like school is really tough, you find that you have a community that is supportive for you. So that's just one of the perks. Walking down the place, they're jogging. So next is the Center for Multicultural Education. So this is like, if you're an international student, you are connected to this place. If you want to study abroad, this is where you go. if you're involved in like a group that is specifically about a diverse culture, then you are going to this area as well. So like right here, they have like an LGBTQ welcoming community. I'm sure they have a club or two. This just shows some students chilling out in that area. But this one was nice. I watched these two videos earlier. One was about an international student's experience about coming from a different country and then going to school here, as well as other international students. And then the other video was about this music industry. Was it music industry? Or that's a later one. But it was about a student who studied abroad and her experiences and how it enriched her education and like why she thought it was such a valuable experience. And then other students talked about their own as well. Human ecology looks like an older building, but they actually house a lot of really interesting things in here. So if you study anything with child and family studies, which is actually what my friend had studied in college, she's now a children's librarian. And also if you study dietetics, which is essentially like nutrition sciences, or anything with fashion and textiles, or food service and restaurant administration, like this is the place that you go. So if you're studying the restaurant service and administration like industry, you have to learn how to cook in a commercial kitchen. So this is just like a view of the commercial kitchen where they've got tools that are really helpful for that. So a person who may want to go in this industry, they maybe want to like be like a food manager at a hotel, or maybe they want to have a catering business. Maybe they want to go into event planning with food. So there's, or if they want to like work for a cruise line and cook, see the world, but still like feed other people. If you learn how to cook for like a large group of people, this is why you have to like study that. Other photos include building, then they're cooking there, cooking class. That's the fashion class where they're making textiles and they're learning about like the thread. This looks like unconventional materials. As you can see, these are all like snack foods. And that looks like toilet paper rolls. So some more cooking. Oh, that looks good. Every year, the fashion students put on a spring fashion show. So actually GCC does this as well, as we have in our own community where the students create their own work and they get models and they put on a whole show. Here's the gallery, another view of the commercial kitchen. This video, this is from 2012, so you can tell that the fashion's like a bit dated, like when you watch it. So I'm not gonna play that one. And if the sound was good, I was gonna play this video, but maybe I'll just turn it on mute to just show you really quickly. I know we've got students who are interested in culinary, so I thought it'd be a nice one. As they have to do this for their final, for their class. Make 3 meals in 1.5 hours. Like a 3-course meal. So I was just showing people making cool stuff. Let me skip ahead. Oh, this person's from Buffalo. I thought it was cool that it like the students who were in this class, it wasn't just like the food like service industry, but also dietetics. So if you want to go and be a registered dietitian someday and help people have good nutrition in their lives, like this is like one of the classes that you would take. And that you would do. And you'd learn about cooking, as well as taking other like biology classes about like food science. Those look like good cookies. Okay, now they're all chefs. Yay. Nothing else to see. The physical science building houses all of like your physics and chemistry and those types of majors. So that's the exterior of the building, which looks a lot better than that first picture. I think, oh, never mind. No, that's human ecology. Well, that's what's hard about like older campuses. Some of it is like brand spanking new, and then other parts are just a bit old. But it doesn't mean that they don't have character. As you see, that's like inside. That's the lobby. So if you want to study together for a class, that's a great place to do that. There's your chemistry lab. Science. That's what it says, science. Got to show off that telescope and show off specifically this professor in the lab. He probably does really fancy things that I don't know anything about. And then this video is explained from students like why you should study physics at Oneonta if you want to study physics. If you like physics, you would be taking, and you're from Batavia, then you'd be taking a class with Mr. Howell. So maybe he can spark a passion in physics for you. There's the Alumni Field House, which houses all of the athletic things that you can think of. So inside, here's the building. You like racquetball, you can have 2 courts to play racquetball in, which is pretty nice. A nice hydration station right there. The arenas where they play their basketball games. The bleachers aren't out, as you can see that they're put away, but you get to see like the size of this particular space. The athletic fields outside are where they'll play soccer or they'll play lacrosse. They have both men's and women's teams. It's a really nice field. Let's see. Oh, and the weight room has excellent branding. There's Oneonta State on all of their weighted machines, which is pretty neat. And I like that there's inspirational quotes on the walls. So this quote is from a tennis player that's about like, essentially yourself. You are your opponent and you have to reach your own standards. But you can see there's assisted weight machines over here, but there's also cardio machines over there. You even have an Aristotle quote because it's college.
I love it.
So this is like when we talked about yesterday, if you're living on campus, you get to have free fitness services, which is pretty nice. Oh, actually, I didn't look at this earlier. This one's new. This is the locker room. Pretty standard. More of the field. I mean, Oneonta has a lot of like really nice Division III sports, but I think that even if you're not a sporty person, you can enjoy yourself here because there's also a lot of arts and other things to do, which I'll show you soon. They just really need to show off this field. They probably spent a lot of money on it.
They have 21 Division III sports programs.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, the training room. Gotta get your fitness on. Okay. I'll do a quick view of this because we're getting close to our end, but there's not too much more to see. Lots and lots of pictures. This video I thought was really dramatic, and I'm definitely not playing it. It's basically like, think about all the inspirational athletic videos, and it's that. Okay, so this is the Fine Arts Center. Any class in art, music, or theater and dance are held here, as well as like any art studies that you may be majoring in. So if you take a ceramics class, this is where you do the ceramics, like baking, I guess. So the kiln. There's the lab where you actually throw your clay onto those, I forgot what they're called. The ceramics is really fun. If you are in a theatrical production, you would be potentially being on stage here. So here's a view of the stage where it's in the middle of creating a production, or even if you're doing stage crew, then you'd maybe be making that set. So that's one of those views.
One of my arts classes in college was a stagecraft class.
Oh yeah, stagecraft is a really interesting class. And actually, so the person who teaches like stagecraft at GCC, Brody, he went to college with me at Geneseo, and he did a ton of stagecraft as well as some performance at Geneseo, which is where we met. So he specialized in that, and now he's teaching it. If you are a musician, this is a space where you'd be rehearsing potentially or performing. Drum set. And this is just going to show people doing art. This one looks like a glamorous Voldemort from Harry Potter, but I really like the picture. Juried art exhibition. This place, so if you're a music industry or music business major here, this is like a classroom where you would, you know, work on your things. Drawing class. See, someone's making a set. They're in a chorus, well, a choir. Or maybe you're a person who like appreciates art, but you don't want to make it. The fact that there's a lot of art things on campus and music means that there's a lot of opportunities to attend those types of events with your friends, which makes it really nice to, you know, figure out what to do if you're bored one day besides homework. And these videos I'm not going to play, but these two videos right here are from music industry majors and what they did at Oneonta and how that has benefited them in their career thus far. Like this guy down here, he's from Rwanda, and he also opened for Big Sean, like in tours, which is fantastic. So. So the College Union is back where we were on like the Welcome Center area, but way like, it's like across the street. But we talked about college unions and what you would find in there. So you're going to find like, well, a nice little pond with fish. You'll have your student activities and clubs in here, like a student government. If they have like community events, they're usually in the union. If you want to know like what's happening on campus, you typically go to the union. And a big draw to a lot of students is Starbucks. It's fine.
Nothing wrong with Starbucks.
They are tasty.
So that
Just
pond
not
is
a coffee person.
that pond is one of my favorite parts of Oneonta. It's actually built in the shape of New York State, which I think is really awesome.
Oh, this looks like an open mic night. So
I would agree.
Starbucks. That's a nice Starbucks, though. I will say that. The International Lounge has those flags from the students who who are from those countries. Greek life. And then there's one more thing to show you, and then we'll be done. And that is the store. So if you need books and you want to buy them from the bookstore on campus, or you need to get your Oneonta swag because you're so proud to be a student here and you need to rep it all the time, this is the place where you go. Lots of really great sweatshirts and sweatpants, and as well as like mugs and other things. I know that it's a classic move for when you go to college for the first time to then when you come home for like winter vacation for Christmas, you buy everyone something from that school. So my parents got like a Geneseo mug, like a Geneseo mom and Geneseo dad mug. My niece, who was like 3 or 4 at the time, got like a little sweatshirt. It was worth it. Okay. And that's the end, because now we get back to the Welcome Center. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Awesome. Great job, Christina.
Thanks. I think this is a great college. I have been trying to, tell my students to look into it. I think that it would be a great fit for many of them. Even though it's like a little bit further away than what they're used to, I think it has a really good community feel to it. And it's a great education for the price,
I agree.
Yeah.
Tyler and Lisa agree that was a very cool college.
Oh, good. Great. Before we completely end, just reminders for today. Actually, Batavia is advising it's going to be like at 11 a.m. in 12 minutes. So we're going to send you that Zoom link and join Andy and I and potentially Lisa and Becky, and we can all chat just about advising things. And Perry's at 2 p.m., which I'll also send that link. So.
The link was sent out via Remind for Batavia students, so we hope to see you there.
Cool. See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.